Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody is doing well out there. With everything going on right now and the craziness in the world and not being able to go to as many places as we like and kind of being stuck at home for the most part, it's easy to get into a funk, develop bad habits, lose some of our good habits, those sorts of things. And in this video, I want to show you a way to gamify your life just a little bit to help develop some new habits, break some old habits, hopefully develop good habits and not bad habits, keep track of it, and have some fun while you're doing it. So in this video, I want to show you how to set up something called Habitica. So Habitica is basically a little self-hosted 8-bit RPG style container that rewards you for good behavior and punishes you, or your character in this case, for bad behavior. So here's the deal. In order for this to be effective, you're going to have to be honest with yourself, with the game, with the setup process, with the checking off of the tasks that you either have or haven't done. You've got to be honest. There's nobody monitoring what you're doing. So this is all based on your own honesty. So let's jump over to my desktop and take a look at what Habitica is, how it works, and then let's take a look at how to set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my name and my email address. Now this is down here where you got signed up with Facebook, Google, Apple. These are all where you'd have to have API keys set up and ready to go. Also, I don't think this would work on a local install. You need to have this on an actual URL in order for their system to access your system in order to verify everything correctly. So just know that for a local install, you won't be able to use any of this stuff down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sign up. And here we go. It says, welcome to Habitica. You must be new here. My name is Justin, and I'll be your guide. Before we begin, let's figure out what to call you. Because I'm the only person on here, of course, my username is going to be accepted. So we'll go ahead and click on Get Started. So here is where you're going to decide what you want to look like. So you can decide what size shirt you want, I guess, or what size body you want. Then your shirt. I'm going to go ahead and pick blue. I like blue quite a bit. So then I'll say my skin. I'm probably somewhere about there, and then we'll come over to my hair, and I'm going to say silver. And my bangs, I don't want bangs. Of course, you can change these to be whatever you'd like them to be. The style is actually this little ponytail thing here that I'm going to change off. Extras, they've got wheelchairs in here if you wanted to do that. Accents, which is going to be this little hair bonnet bow thing. I'm going to say no, I don't want that. Then I'm going to say next. And then here it gives you some ideas. It's just some basic things. I want to work on exercise. That I really need to work on that. Health and wellness, of course. Chores, creativity, self-care. Those are all things that I could stand to improve on. So I'm going to select those boxes. And then I'm going to say finish. And here you can see it says, I filled out some tasks for you based on your interests so that you can get started right away. Click a task to edit or add new tasks to fit your routine. Let's go. So basically, once you're in here, you've got habits that you would like. These are things that will update every day. So these are things, or as often as you'd like them to, based on settings in here. So reset streak is daily for this particular instance, anyway. So you can say, do you want this to be a positive or a negative? So maybe you're trying to quit drinking, you're trying to quit smoking, or you're trying to quit going to the cupboard for a snack every 10 minutes. Whatever the case is, you can set whether the thing you're trying to do, that you're trying to get over, is either a positive or a negative. Taking a break could be a positive here. So we'll go and click save. Eat health/junk food. Now see, I feel like, yeah, maybe that one would be a negative. So I might say I didn't have junk food today, so I'm going to go ahead and check that box. Oh no. So I lost some health because I did the wrong thing there. So that's kind of your little battle that you've got to deal with. And now you can see I've got 47 out of 50 hit points left. So same thing here. Let's say, maybe I did 10 minutes of cardio. That's good. So I got some gold. I also gained some experience points, and you can see that those experience points tally up right up here. Oops. In fact, I guess we can take a look at that. There is my current setup. That's what my character looks like. There's my about, which I haven't added. There's a photo that I haven't added. You can edit these things. And it just says, make sure that it complies with community guidelines, that sort of thing. Stats, you can see what you're wearing, what your costume is, backgrounds, pets. Pets are kind of neat. We'll actually get to that here in just a moment. But let's say I've gone ahead and I've got finished off. Oops. So I found some new items. I found an egg and a hatching potion, so let's go. That's going to bring me over here. And every time you complete a task, you'll have a random chance of receiving an egg, a hatching potion, or a piece of pet food. You can also buy those. So let's click on Let's Go. So I've got an egg here. This is a wolf egg, because everybody knows that wolves come from eggs. So I'm just going to click that, drag it over here to the hatching potions, and click again. And now I've got a red wolf. So I can click on the stable if I want to do that. I don't know why that opened in a new window, but it did. So I'm going to minimize that. And here you can see all of the different things in my stable. I've got pets, magic pets, quest pets. So all kinds of stuff in here. You can also just say, only show me what I've got. That's probably the way to go as far as I'm concerned there. Okay, so let's come back over here and click on Onward. And then we'll go back to my tasks. And let's just say I've completed all of that. So I just reached level 2. And of course, here's the deal, right? Like you can go in and you can game this system, right? Like you can set stuff up and you can just click, I did it. But so this game really, or this game, let's call it a game. It is. It's gamifying your life. You have to be honest with yourself and with the game in order for this to be valuable as far as trying to develop new habits. So that's something to keep in mind. You have to be honest with yourself as much as you are with the game in order for this to actually make sense. So let's go ahead and click on Onwards here. Let's go ahead and click. I did that one too. So if we come over up here to the top right, you can look at achievements. That's actually not what I was looking for. It was right here. There it is. So I want to go ahead and complete these because, like it says right here, getting started, complete these onboarding tasks and you'll earn 5 achievements and 100 gold. 100 gold is huge in this game, especially when you're starting out, because you want to have, helmets and armor and shields and swords and all this kind of stuff. So let's create a task first. So let's add a daily, let's say shower. I want to do that. So achievement, created your first task. I actually just got out of the shower before I recorded this video, so I can legitimately check that box. So let's come back over to here. Oops. Okay, I did that. Huzzah! All right. Where did it go? Oops, is it right here? There it is. All right, feed a pet and purchase a piece of equipment. So let's do that. Let's come over to our inventory and go to our stable. And then it looks like we've got some blue cotton candy. I'm sure our wolf would love to have some cotton candy. Nope, he did not. But we got the achievement for feeding a pet. So the next thing we want to do is come over here to the shops, go to the market. I've only got 7 gold. You can see that up here at the top right. So I need to pick something to buy that is less than 7 gold. At this point, there isn't anything other than this little training sword. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. And here we can see I earned 5 achievements and 100 gold for completing the list. So now I can view my achievements. And here we can see I'm still a level 2 warrior. There's all of these different achievements that you can do and that sort of thing. Okay, so I kind of want to leave it there as far as the game itself is concerned, because I want you to be able to go in there and discover the game your own way. There's a chance that everybody's going to play it a little differently, and I don't want to set you down a path that's going to make it frustrating or confusing or not the way you would play the game. So I want to kind of leave this part there just so you get an idea of how to navigate the different areas and get an idea of what the logic of the game, I guess. I kind of want to leave it there. But with all of that being said, now let's go back. Let's take a couple of steps back and actually go through the process of installing Habitica on your Docker server. Okay, so here we are on my desktop, and what I've got here is just a basic, just a brand new VM setup. I've got Docker installed, I've got Portainer installed, and that's basically all I've got on here other than some updates, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do first, if we just open this up, you can see literally just Portainer is up and running at this point. In another tab over here, I've got the Habitica.fandom wiki page up here that we're going to kind of reference periodically, but ultimately that's available. This will all be available in the description down below. But basically, we're going to run this command and kind of go from there. But over here, we've also got their GitHub page for HabitRPG/Habitica. And then, of course, a link over here to the Habitica website where you can sign up and join their platform if you want to do that. Of course, we're not going to do that. We're going to host our own here locally. So what we want to do is close some of this stuff out. I'm going to pop open my terminal here. Hey, guys, look. That's Windows Terminal. It's not PuTTY. But don't get used to it, because like I'm just trying this out. Lots of people, obviously, for months and months and months, have been giving me crap about using PuTTY. I was finally convinced here recently to at least give this a shot. So I am. Congratulations. So here we are. Basically, I'm logged in. There's nothing in this directory. I'm using Turnkey Core for this, just as my root. I'm not using Open Media Vault or anything like that. This is just Turnkey Core. This should work on any setup with Docker on it. You don't even need Portainer, but I installed Portainer so we can kind of monitor some things. Well, a little more easily. Let's put it that way. We can always monitor via command line, but it was just easier to put Portainer on there just to monitor some things as we go, as necessary, if we need to. So here we are. We're on here. So what we want to do first, is come over to here, and what I want to do is actually grab this line right here, out this HTTPS. I just want to copy that, come back over, and I'm going to do Git Clone, and then paste and go. You may have to install Git in order for that to work. It is just sudo apt install Git. In fact, with this I can't use sudo, so just apt install Git, Git. And here you can see this is a fairly large image here. This is a gig and a half, kind of somewhere in there. Let me see if I can maybe make that maybe a little bit bigger. Rendering. Nope, I don't see where I can. See, guys, this is what happens. This is what happens when I try to. Oh, there we go. Well, that worked anyway. So here we are. We're almost a gig in. I wanted to make that font bigger so it'd be easier to read. So I can close out settings. So here we are. We're at a gig. We're only 62% downloaded. So we're going to let this do its thing. Looks like it's going to go pretty quickly. Of course, that will also depend on your internet connection, those sorts of things. So we'll give this just another minute to do its thing. And then we'll move on to the next steps. I'm going to minimize that. There we go. So it's resolving deltas, just kind of verifying everything. That looks good. So what we want to do next is actually, if we do an ls, we'll see that there is a new folder in there called Habitica. So I'm going to do a cd into Habitica, and then an ls. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do ls here, so it's a little easier to see. So basically, what we've got here is just all of the files that it downloaded. We're going to make a couple of changes. The first thing we want to do is actually copy this config.json.example to just config.json. So again, of course, I've got this down here like so, and I'm just going to hit enter. So just cp space, the name of the file you've currently got, and then the name of the file you want it to be. So just like that. You could do an MV for that as well, but copy is just fine. What I want to do next is actually kind of take a look at that config.json file. So I'm going to do nano config.json, like so, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. Because there are some things in here you may want to change at some point. But in order for things to just work, it will work out of the box. You don't have to do anything crazy with this file. But if you want to include payment methods, things like that, whether it's through Amazon payments, where else? There's other stuff in here. PayPal, credit cards. If you want to enable those things, you will need to update this file and restart the container once it's up and running, if it is up and running. But just know that this is where you'll go to make modifications to certain things, again, for payment processing and things like that. You don't need payment processing. What I actually like about Habitica is that it is not a play or a pay to win. It's a play to win. It's not even, you don't even necessarily win the game. This is actually meant, again, to help you develop new habits and maybe get rid of old habits and start new habits and those sorts of things, and kind of keep, I mean, it's to gamify your life and make things a little bit more interesting. So you don't need to have payment processors in here. So just know that if you want it, you can. If not, don't worry about it. So once all of this is in here, you should be good to go. This admin email, you can ignore that line entirely. I was reading through their documentation. They may actually be getting rid of that. So just understand that you don't need to really modify anything in here. But there's a lot of stuff in here you can modify if you need to. So enough of that. Okay. So oops, we're gonna say oops, cancel. We're just gonna exit out of there. We're not gonna change anything. Now, the next command that this over here says to run is this docker compose-f docker compose.dev.yml up-d. Now, normally we would just do docker compose up-d and we would let that run. However, the file that's in there for that, this one right here, that's the file we would normally use. We'd do docker compose up-d and let it run. However, that one, for whatever reason, doesn't have the Mongo database built into it, whereas this docker compose.dev.yml does. So that's why we're going to run a different command this time, is because we want the database to work. So what we'll do is we'll just come back over here. You can grab this from right here. Again, all of this will be linked in the description down below. So one thing to keep in mind, and I actually didn't show it here, I should have, and I failed, I'm sorry. You may actually want to take a look at that Docker Compose, that dev file, before you actually deploy it, just to make sure there are no changes that you need to make as far as like port configurations to avoid conflicts, things like that. You may also want to map some of your volumes differently, those sorts of things. Definitely take a look at that before you go through the process of deploying this file. I should have shown that, and I apologize. I didn't need to modify anything on mine, and it just skipped my brain until I was sitting here doing the actual edit of the videos. So before you run that, go in there, edit what you need to edit, save it, and then go ahead and run this next command. Copy, paste, there we go. And then we're just going to let that. Oh, okay. So I don't have Docker Compose installed. So we're going to say apt install Docker Compose. Okay, now we have Docker Compose installed. You shouldn't probably have to do that. Again, I'm using Turnkey Core. It's a very, very minimal install. So now we should be able to go ahead and do this. There we go. Now it's pulling the Mongo database, and it's going to go through its whole process of pulling that. Then it's going to pull the server, then it's going to pull the client, maybe not in that order, but it's going to pull those things. Then it's going to go through multiple steps of extracting, setting up, pulling, whatever, as it's going through and doing all of this stuff. So we'll want to give this a little while to do its thing. Like here it says step 1 of 7. Again, it's pulling, it's building the server from node 14, it looks like. So we just hang out and wait. You're going to see some red text on here. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. It's fine. Just let it do its thing. And then once it's done, we'll come back and I'll show you how it's probably going to fail, and then I'll show you how to fix it. Okay, so now we're getting close. We can see that it's creating the Mongo database, the server, as well as the client here. So those are all showing up. This is almost done. And then once it is, we should be able to go ahead and take a look at Portainer and kind of get an idea of what's going on. Okay, so we're all done. Let's jump back over to here. Let's go over here to Portainer and let's do a refresh. And what you're going to notice right here is Habitica server has stopped. So what we want to do is actually kind of come in here and take a look. And if we start taking a look through here, there's this error code right here that says npm error code e-life cycle. And then error number 1 and Habitica, there's some stuff going on here. So what we want to do is actually come back over to this tutorial that they've got set up on their page. And we want to scroll down just a little bit. Right here it says npm error code e-life cycle. That's the one that we just saw over here in Portainer's error logs for the server. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back. Well, first I want to make sure my endpoints are set up. They're not, so let me do that. 1.136, that's fine. That's going to just make things easier here in a moment. So let's go back to our containers, and we've got Habitica server down right now, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to my notes. Again, all of this will be available in the description down below, one way or the other, whether it's directly or in a blog post or something, it'll be there. So I've got basically the same thing that they've got here, this right here. I've gone ahead and copied that, and then what I'll do is come back over to here, just going to paste that in and hit enter. So it's gone ahead and updated that. So what I should be able to do now is come back over, click there, click start, and we're going to give this a minute to do its thing. Okay, so now our server should be up and running again. Let's go ahead and open this up, see if we're getting any errors or anything. So let's go ahead and refresh. Sometimes with doing some of the testing that I've done over the past several days, what I have noticed is as soon as I open this, this is the client, this is like the front-facing side of things. This is typically where the server will crash. What we do need to do, though, is actually open this up. Here we can see, oops, I did have to reboot this server in order to get this to work. So anytime you have to restart the main container, the front-end container anyway, it's got to go through this whole rebuild process. So anytime you make changes to that config.json file and have to restart, you're going to have to wait while it goes through this process to go ahead and make sure that everything is up and running the way you want it to. So now it looks like everything here is good to go. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and open this up. Hey, there we go. So now everything is up and running and we should be good to get started. I would encourage you to go through, set this up for yourself, dig around, create all the tasks and dailies and to-dos and all of that kind of stuff that's going to keep you motivated, stuff that you want to help keep yourself accountable for in order to better yourself, whether it's, you know, taking a 5-minute break once a day or meditating or doing yoga or stretching, exercise, cleaning, whatever it happens to be, whatever it's going to take to get you motivated to change your habits and build new habits that are going to get you into a better state of mind is really what I think this is going to be great for a lot of people, especially with all of the craziness going on right now. Sometimes it's hard to have motivation, it's hard to have a daily routine, and something as simple as gamifying your life with this application I think is a great way to get started. So with all of that being said, I would love to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Is this something that you would actually use or install or check out for yourself? If so, is this something you would just have available at home, or is it something that you would throw behind maybe Nginx Proxy Manager and your own domain so that you can access it from anywhere? I don't know that it's actually got an app, but I believe that it's got a pretty good mobile interface, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I actually haven't checked that. I really should. But let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on using this, how you would use it, that sort of thing. I'd love to know. Maybe there's a use case out there I haven't thought of, and I'd love to hear from you guys about how you would do exactly that. So leave that in the comment section down below. Again, all of the stuff you're going to need to make this happen will be available in the description down below, either as text in the description or a link over to my website for a blog post. Either way, all of it's down there. Also, if you want to support the channel, there are a couple of ways in the description down below where you can do that as well. While you're checking out all those other links, I've got Patreon, I've got Coffee, I've got PayPal, but all that kind of stuff, again, linked in the description if you want to support the channel. Again, big shout out to my current patrons and channel members. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your support. It really does mean the world to me. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. As always, thanks for your time. I always appreciate your support, and I'll talk to you in the next video.